Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, you guys, first story up. The 41st president of the United States of America, George H.W. Bush, was laid to rest yesterday in Washington, D.C. And as expected, all of the former presidents and their wives were in attendance. Of course, all of the who's who that are in Washington were all in attendance as well. This was a day of mourning. Y'all stupid ass president did give the federal workers the day off. That meant there was no postal service running, no federal government offices were open, and there were even some county offices throughout the nation that had closed, I believe courts and things like that. So a day of mourning for President Bush was yesterday. It was televised, and I had to work, but there were a lot of people that I knew that was watching the funeral and kind of giving me updates on all that was going on. I was able to see all the highlights like you guys were able to on social media yesterday, so I kind of felt like I was up to speed on what I needed to see. As far as the former presidents, we had them all sitting on the same pew. It was a very awkward setting, to say the least, to have Donald Trump up there sitting with all of the former presidents that in some shape, form, or fashion that he has offended, some very recently and some in the past. Okay, you could already tell that pretty much all of them that was sitting up there was not there for Donald Trump. President Barack Obama, my forever president, is always going to be gracious. He did shake Donald Trump's hand, Melania's hand. Okay, Michelle Obama, gracious, shook their hands with a scowl on her face. So if that ain't no black mama, I know something, child. When you can't stand your kids' friends, you just be looking at them like, Bill Clinton did glance down there at him. Hillary Clinton could not even be bothered to turn her head that way. That's why I love me some Hillary. I tell you, Hillary, honey, she stone face. But yes, they were all sitting up in the front. It was just strange to see them all up there. I just don't know how Donald Trump can go around offending everybody and then, comfortably sit next to anyway. As the funeral went on, the procession of the family was coming down the aisle. I thought it was really cute when George W. Bush did take the time. You could tell when he was walking down the aisle that he was reaching in his pocket. He knew he was getting up to the front. He stopped to shake the president's Rose hands. Okay, Donald Trump, Melania reached over and shook President Obama's hand. Damn near almost laid on Donald Trump and Melania's lap trying to get that candy to Michelle. He gave it to her, put it in her hand, and she started laughing. That was the one little reprieve of the day, because Michelle Williams, child. Michelle Obama looked like she wished that she could be anywhere else in that church but on that pew next to that man and his wife. He gave her the candy, and then he went on to shake Bill Clinton's hand, down the aisle. But yeah, it was cute to me. Everybody was like, I don't really get it. Like, what's the big deal about him giving her candy? And, a lot of people are forgetting that Michelle Obama and George W. Bush were kind of like when you be with your mischievous friend in church. At the inauguration, when Donald Trump was sworn into his presidency, they were sitting next to each other, and it was like they had an inside joke. It was like the whole time that they were there, they were laughing, they were talking, they were whispering, they would make faces at each other. So there was always some connection between the two of them. And then that carried on over into the funeral for why can't I think of his name, you guys? Arizona Senator. What is his name? I have it written down. Just hold on a second. John McCain, Senator John McCain's funeral, when they were there, and I guess Michelle's throat was a little parched. Okay, it's not like you can just whip out a water bottle. So President Bush had given her a piece of candy then. Okay, and they caught that on video. So now it's kind of become a tradition that when the two of these two probably see each other, that he is always going to have a little butterscotch candy in his pocket waiting for old Miss Michelle. So cute to me. Makes you be endeared to the Bushes. You never thought that you would feel this way about the Bush family, but y'all stupid ass president has made me see that all those other presidents that we had problems with, maybe they wasn't so damn bad. Historically, though, I think that once people move on, that the people, the nation, have a little bit more admiration for them that they did when they were in office. Okay, when the job had to be done, I guess they signed up sometimes as being the enemy, just because that's what they're there for. They're the president. They can't make everybody happy. They do the best that they can, and then they move it on along. And when George W. Bush, with all of the bad that has come with him and that name, synonymous with the Hurricane Katrina crisis, you just won't never be able to subtract or distance his presidency with that tragedy. Once he had retired, you just kind of have a different feeling. For me, when I see George W. Bush now, I just feel like he is just living his life. I almost feel like he really didn't want to be the president. I think that he was groomed to be one because of his father, but he was a bit of a fuck up, and he was just kind of in there. He did his time. Once he was out, he was out. He was happy. He's painting. Him and Bill Clinton became good friends. They're traveling, doing book tours together, and sitting and talking to the people. Just a totally different person than what we were used to. Now, of course, they're politicians. We won't ever forget that. But I just feel like the George W. Bush that was retired and moved on from the presidency was much more likable than, the one that we had when he was in office. That is why him and Michelle Obama have forged some sort of friendship and everybody has taken notice. I mean, how can you not like Michelle Obama? Okay? People keep asking me if I read the book, and I haven't, because I'm actually going to save it for my vacation. I'm going to be going on vacation at the end of December, and I just want to have something nice to read and relax while I'm sitting on the beach and looking out from my beautiful room, okay, at the waters. So, I haven't read it. I was going to read it, and I was like, no, let me just save this for then. So, once I do read it, I will review it. But as far as the funeral, yes, George H.W. Bush was laid to rest yesterday. He was 94 years old. Remember, they buried Barbara Bush earlier this year. I actually thought that he was going to die very much soon after she did, because he was the one that they had expected to die first. They were both ill. But Barbara Bush ended up dying before him. And, when you've been with somebody that long, you just expect for the other person to go immediately afterwards. I mean, he still did die, within the same year. I think it was 8 months ago that they buried Barbara Bush, and now George H.W. Bush. It was surprising to me that they even allowed the Trumps to be there. But you know what? They're Republicans, and steadfast Republicans. Very loyal to the party. So even if they had personal problems with Donald Trump, they're still going to make sure that they have him sitting there representing as the president of the United States, him and his sourpuss face wife. And you can tell that y'all stupid ass president was so happy to be there, him sitting there like he just glad to be invited. You know how somebody get picked last to be on the kickball team in elementary school? That was Donald Trump up there. Anyway, it was a beautiful service from what I said. I saw that George W. Bush did do the eulogy. It was very nice, heartfelt, and we put our 41st president to rest. Did you guys see Jimmy Carter? Didn't he look great? I mean, this man is in his 90s as well and had brain cancer. He looked sharp. He was walking, and I was just like, okay, Jimmy. Okay, what Jimmy drinking? I need some of whatever Jimmy got. I'm sure the family is mourning their loss. Him and Barbara Bush were the staples of that family. He leaves behind 6 children. Well, 5 children. They did have a 6th child, Robin, who died when she was 3 years old. The children that were left behind was George, Jeb, Neil, Marvin, and Dorothy. He also leaves behind 14 grandchildren, some great-grandchildren, a host of family, friends, admirers, people who respect him all over this country and this world. 94 years old, like I said. Rest in peace to George H.W. Bush, our 41st president of the United States of America. Sleep well. Guys, so we got the serious subjects out of the way. Let's talk about Cardi and Offset. I don't really know what to make of this story. I'm just gonna give it to you how it went down. So there is a rapper girl by the name of Cuban Savage, who I believe was in a bit of a fight of some sort of a disagreement with one of her friends. Was the person's name Summer Bunny? I think that was what the name was. Okay, whatever the friend's name was, though, if that's not it. It is not super important, but it is sort of important. Just stick with me, you guys. So they're having a fight, and the friend posts, bitch, you so fake and phony. Okay, be smiling all up in Cardi B's face, but you was trying to have a threesome with Offset and another girl. And then to provide receipts, this friend, the person I believe is Summer Bunny, but I'm not sure, she posted some text messages between Miss Savage, Mr. Offset, them setting up this threesome. He was gonna fly him out and all of that. I was like, well, damn. Okay, now you already having a fight with Cuban Savage, and you just feel like you gonna throw Offset and Cardi B's marriage into this whole mix. Like, how fucked up is that? See, this is what happened when your friends know about your hoe antics that you be doing out there, okay? You got to keep that shit close to the vest. You can't be letting everybody know, because shit like this happens. So, she posted these text messages and said that Cuban Savage, is friends in Cardi's face, but fucking her man, or trying to fuck the man. And the text message read like a business transaction. Did you guys read it? Like, okay, I know you want us both. You gonna fly me out, and you can fly her out. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fly you guys out. And it was like very matter of fact. It was no sexual, like, oh, I can't wait to, lick this and touch that. It was none of that. It was like, bitch, okay, I'm gonna make sure I get this ticket for you. Y'all come on down so we can do. It's like, child, that Offset and that wandering dick, it's gonna keep his ass in trouble. Now, of course, Offset did deny it. He didn't do anything with her, of course. They hoes when you get caught. Now, when you was really trying to get with them, you was all ready. Cuban Savage did also put out a statement saying that she didn't have sex with him. The text messages was a lie. She has respect for Cardi B, but the damage was already done. We didn't hear or see anything from Cardi B immediately after that, but I figured that there was something brewing. But then I also started thinking, like, well, she's probably used to this by now. I mean, Offset, like I said, the wandering D is serious. It's real out there in them streets. But then Tuesday night, going into Wednesday morning, I woke up about 5 a.m. and I was just scrolling through my Instagram, and I saw Cardi B doing a video. She was talking, and I couldn't listen to it because I'm laying right next to Mister, and I didn't want to wake him up. So I'm just reading through the comments, and it says something about Cardi B leaving, getting a divorce from Offset, and I was like, wait, what? So that morning when I was going to work, I finally did listen to the video of her saying that she and Offset were getting a divorce. Okay, not we separating because we need a little space, but they're getting a divorce, that they grew apart, okay, or grew out of love, like she said, that they've been trying really hard to fix some problems in their marriage, but they hadn't been successful, and now it's just time to let it go. She's all very, very calm, not the Cardi B that we're used to. But yeah, she said it's time to let it go. She's always gonna have love for him. He's Culture's father, so they're always gonna have some love for each other, but it's just a wrap on that. And when I heard that, I was just like, okay. I didn't know how to take it. I was thinking to myself, like, now wasn't she just on the phone posting a video the other day saying how she was gonna suck his dick through the phone? And yeah, I was just like, and everything has always been, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Of course, people put on the gram for the gram, so it could, it doesn't necessarily mean that there weren't issues in the marriage. I'm sure that there were. But the way that she was talking, it was just sort of like she was saying, like, we just been at this for so long, and it's just time to go. And I was just like, this is strange. So then I started thinking, like, Is she just really trying to send out a message to Offset that she's just over it, and that if she goes out and says it to everybody, then maybe he will take her seriously and he'll stop doing all of this? And I hate to see them break up, but I understand why they are. Is because Offset cannot get himself to fucking gather. He loves the women's. There's always a debate on whether or not Cardi B or Offset, if they were, who was better for the other's career. I just feel like it was like kismet for the two of them to actually get together at the time that they did in their career. They were both good for each other's career. But I know that a lot of the problems that Cardi B has in her life right now surrounds the fact that she's with Offset. The legal issues that she has, her always wanting to fight with people in the damn social media, and all of this all has something to do with Offset at the end of the day. So while he's been good for her career in one way, he's been bad for her life in another way. And that's kind of fucked up to say. I hate to say it because, like I said, I like to see them as a couple and all of that. But, it's just, I don't know. Them getting together at the height of their careers. He's a hot rapper. The girls want to fuck him. She loves him, but she's also has a career that she needs to be concerned about. But then they go and have a baby and they get married. And it's a lot of things that they're trying to do that is hard, even if you're not in the damn limelight. So just imagine all this extra pressure that's on their relationship. It's difficult. Now, in the video, she said it wasn't because of anything that anybody said or did. It's just time for it to be done. And I was just like, okay, Cardi, well, we all know about this threesome conversation floating around the internets. So I would imagine that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but she didn't bring up that Cuban doll girl. I mean, not Cuban doll, Cuban savage, all these Cubans, child. She didn't bring her up, but we all know that was the deciding factor. Now, this morning, I hear on the radio, and that's why I think that the girl's name is Summer Bunny. We hear her saying how she feels so bad, she didn't want to break up a happy home. She broke up this marriage. She posted this, she didn't mean to do all of that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why did you not think that this was going to be a problem? Now, you so fucking mad at Cuban Savage that you go and put this shit out. Offset and Cardi B ain't got shit to do with y'all fight. But see, this is what happens with social media. Motherfuckers don't be thinking. They just want to just put shit out there. You be mad. You be emotional. You be thinking you getting back at somebody. You thinking you ruining Cuban Savage's life. And instead, you destroying something totally unrelated and outside of it. I mean, just telling. Just run till that. Okay, so you should feel bad. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, it don't help nothing or nothing. You apologizing to Cardi B and Offset, girl, cut it out. Okay, just a mess. But the bottom line is, in order for Cardi B and Offset to really make it work, there has to be some changes there. And I don't know if he is in the place to make it happen yet. It may come later on down the line, but I just told you, he is a hot young rapper right now. These bitches, these women is throwing their ass at him left and right. So I feel bad because at the end of the day, it was a marriage. They had a baby, a brand new baby, and it's broken. It's broken. Now, Cardi's going to be fine. Culture's going to be fine. As a matter of fact, did you guys see the pictures that she posted of Culture last night? Okay, that kind of told me that it was a final fuck you Offset, because we know that he did not want her to put the baby on social media. I know she didn't want to either, but I think that he was more of the one that was like, no, keep her off. Because remember when she was playing that trick and she was acting like she had the baby up on the stage at the MTV Awards, and he was really, really mad about that. Turned out the baby was not in her arms, but he thought that the baby was. Well, this time I think she posted the baby kind of like, I don't give a fuck. You out there fucking bitches and doing whatever the hell you want to do. I'm going to post my damn baby if I want to. Now, I don't know if I would have done that yet still. Because after I read that text message that she showed about people threatening her baby and things like that, I mean, that makes me I would never want to put my kids out there if shit like that was happening. That's why you still ain't seen them twins. Oh yeah, you done seen Beyonce and Jay-Z holding the babies, honey. You done seen the bottom part of their legs, their ankles, their shoes. That's about it. But other than that, they ain't letting y'all see them babies. I don't blame them. So I was actually shocked that she posted a picture of the baby yesterday, and that just kind of let me know that she was really trying to piss him off. Beautiful baby, by the way, which I figured she was. She does look like Hennessy. Some people say she looks like Hennessy, and she does. But just unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but we kind of all saw it coming. Some people are saying that it's a stunt. It could be. Offset does have an album coming out today, I believe, or tomorrow, sometime in this week. And all of this extra attention, does put a spotlight on the album, make people want to think, want to listen to it, see if maybe he's talking about whatever. But I'm not sure if it's a stunt or not. It seems like an awful lot to go through just to be having a stunt, okay? It's not like this is the first time that he's fucked around. So it's just like you just grin and bear it and then deal with it, behind closed doors. So for her to come out and say something like this, I mean, it just seems very... I don't know, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We just know what she's just said. She said she's done. They getting a divorce, okay? Not a separation, space, trying to figure it out. None of that. They getting a divorce. So we'll see. What do you guys think, though? Do you think that the relationship is a wrap? I feel like Cardi really, really wanted it to work with him and really, really wanted to be with him. People get mad and say a lot of things and then eventually end up back with each other. So we'll just see. We'll just have to see what happens. But you guys let me know if you think if it's a stunt or if you think it's real. Y'all leave all y'all comments about that below. And child, speaking about cheating, let's talk about Mara Brock Akil, and more importantly, Salim Akil's allegations of him sexually assaulting and battering this woman that he was having an affair with for 10 years. I was like, Now, the affair ended in 2017, okay? It was with this woman by the name of Amber Dixon Bronner. She filed a complaint in the Los Angeles Superior Court, and she said that, they had this tumultuous relationship where they were having sex with each other, and I was just reading the story, and I was just like, what? Now, first of all, we already know Salim and Mara, that's the writing duo that was responsible for Girlfriends and, what was the show? Being Mary Jane. And they were responsible for a lot of black TV that we all enjoyed in the past decade or two. It was just unexpected for this to come out. Now, it's never unexpected for people to be having affairs. Okay, shit happens. Men cheat, women cheat. That's not the thing. But when you get to telling this whole story about this sexual battery, okay, saying that he was strangling her and he would slap her and he peed in her mouth and he would stick his fingers up her butt if she made him mad. And I mean, I was just reading this whole, I said, Salim, your motherfucking ass is nasty. Now, a lot of times when people have affairs, they'll do shit with the person that they have an affair with that they just definitely can't do with their spouse. They got too much respect for their spouse, so they gonna find them somebody that they can do all kind of way out and wild shit with. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, if it was a non-consensual relationship for 10 years, you guys was having this affair, was it just mental abuse where she felt like she kept going back or she needed to be around him, but he was treating her this way and just doing crazy shit? And I mean, peeing in somebody's mouth. Now, we was just talking about the other day what was nasty and what was freaky. Now that is freaky, okay? You doing a whole lot when you swallowing up somebody's pee and shit. So I just was like, Salim, are you really doing this to this woman? Okay, now he came out and denied it all and said, no, he did not Now, he did not deny the affair. He said he didn't do these things to this woman. Well, okay, let me make sure that I quote this correctly. I will say exactly what his statement was that his lawyer put out. These allegations are deeply upsetting, but they are also totally untrue. We will defend Salim to the fullest against the false and offensive claims that a woman with whom he had a past relationship has included in multiple unsubstantiated lawsuits. Salim looks forward to clearing his name and being able to focus on his work and his family. I was like, I bet you he is trying to focus on his family at this point. Because I know Mara broke Akil. Was she I mean, you never know what going on again behind closed doors. We just see what we see on the outside. But I just was like, damn. You was doing the most, Salim. When they talk about this damn woman that he had a past relationship, how past? Y'all been together for a long fucking time messing around. I'm just thinking to myself, like, child, who would have ever thought it? Forced oral sex and strangulation, and I was just like, She's also suing him for copyright infringement, suing the OWN network, suing Oprah Winfrey, saying that they stole a script that she and him, I guess, had been working on together, that he stole it and used it, that OWN used it. I'm not sure if they're saying that it had anything to do with Love Is. That's the show that is supposed to be talking about Mara and Salim's, relationship when it first started in the 90s. Just a mess. And now Salim, he is the executive producer for Black Lightning. I watched the first season, haven't been able to get caught up on the second season, but a good show. And now that show is investigating him, trying to see, what's what with all of this with Salim. I mean, they did not know that Salim was out there. I said that Salim is out there cutting the food, child. Oh my God. Do I believe the story? I believe that there was a whole lot of dysfunction in that relationship or / affair. These things very much could have happened, and the girl was still there, like years and years and years. So that relationship probably was so dependent and fucked up, and them being together, but him still with his wife and his child, a mess. Just a mess. In the meantime, we ain't seen Mara. She ain't said nothing. And of course, I wouldn't expect her to. This is not for public fodder, even though it is, because it's a lawsuit. But just like, I was just so shocked. Like, woo. We gonna see what happens. The OWN network has till the 28th of December to respond. They haven't yet, but I'm sure they will. We gonna see. But I don't know. Mara and Salim, they got something else that they have to worry about now. I guess the show Love Is also going to be, is that going to be on the back burner? Is that going to come back? You guys was all telling me how wonderful the show was. I never watched it, but one of my girlfriends, Rashawn, used to always tell me like, oh, that Salim was a fucking asshole when he was younger. And I guess, as the days go on, things don't change too much, right? So I was shocked. Okay, and I don't even know them like that, but I was shocked. Right, the Beehive rock stars out there, y'all was mad at your girl the other day, wasn't you? Now look, I love Beyonce, but I'm not a super duper fan. So I had no idea that Beyonce and Jay-Z were going to be performing at the Global Citizens Festival in South Africa. I did see video of them arriving there, okay, like I said, holding the babies, holding the twins with their ankles showing. But I just thought that they were there just for a visit. I also had seen that her mother was posting video of when she met Nelson Mandela, when Beyonce met Nelson Mandela, and I just thought maybe the family was there visiting. Had no idea that there was this big festival there and all the musicians and artists and singers and rock stars and everybody was going to be performing there. Turns out that Beyonce and Jay-Z were the biggest acts. They let the Beehive know that they were going to be live streaming the concert. Well, they had been live streaming everything else, so why not live stream Beyonce and Jay-Z as well, right? Well, then they tweeted out that Beyonce's live stream was only going to last for 25 minutes because they wanted the people that were there that had earned their tickets, bought their tickets, that were in attendance, that they would actually have something that everybody else doesn't get. Now, if you get to be watching shit from the house, okay, how special does that make the people feel that spent all this money, or however way that they got their tickets there? How special does that make them feel, right? So y'all get all you can in these 25 minutes. Yeah, y'all better, 25 minutes all you got, boo-boo. The Beehive was mad as fuck. Okay, y'all remember the old hashtag of boycott Beyonce? Well, they brought that shit back, that they was gonna boycott Beyonce because they was mad, it wasn't fair, they showed it on YouTube. Why can't we watch the damn concert? They wanted, these people was ready, just feelings hurt. I was just like, child, I had no idea that she was performing. I did see that Miles had posted, Miles, whenever he get to falling all over himself and frothing at the mouth, more than usual for Beyonce, that's when I know that she must be performing somewhere. And I saw him posted that they had on the rainbow colored outfits, but with the big hats. So then I said, oh, she must be performing somewhere. And then that's when I found out about, but y'all was mad. Child, that Beehive was pissed, even cussing out. What is Beyonce's public relations girl? The one that had flew Ashley out, and what was her name? Yvette or Yvonne or something like that. Had been cussed her out on her damn social media. And she got on there. She said, don't you ever get up on this social media and talk like that here. Okay, bitch, this Beyonce shit. Don't be fucking around with us. Y'all up here cussing out Beyonce's team and everything, child. And it wasn't going to make no difference. And on top of that, they not gonna boycott Beyonce. Now, once everybody get through their feelings and being upset and feeling deprived and all of that, all Beyonce got to do is have another concert somewhere and y'all get to go see it, and then you gonna forget all about this little faux pas. But fuck, Beyonce does the same thing all the time. So it's just like, go back and watch her shit that she just did, that we saw on YouTube. And you gonna pretty much get the same thing, just different outfits. It's all right, Beehive. Beyonce still love y'all, it's just that they was trying to make this concert. Y'all done got spoiled by these live feeds and these live streams, because to me, why do they do that? Like, I would be upset, just like they said, I would be upset if I spend my money to go see something. I guess the difference is you're there, you can feel it, it feels more tangible, you can, the artist is right there, but it's still like everybody watching it on TV is just sort of like, well, so let these people have something a little special. Okay, it's okay, Beehive. Beyonce still love y'all. It is going to be okay. What y'all thought about them 25 minutes though? Did you enjoy that? And then lastly, you guys, in quickies, following up to the Botham, I hope I'm saying his name right, Botham Jean murder. Remember, Amber Guyger was the off-duty police who said that she was in the wrong apartment, she was on the wrong floor, opened the door and murdered him, killed him, shot him dead in his own apartment. The current DA, remember I was telling you, once he said he got into office and was able to put his shit down and sit down at his desk, that he was going to, charge her with murder. Well, he made good on his promise and he has charged her with murder. Okay, so that is a victory. Well, not necessarily a victory. That is a step in the right direction. There's still a long ways to go in this case, and does not necessarily mean that this woman will still spend any time in jail. I just watched the Sandra Bland case, and that was a reminder to me that, even when shit seems very, very, very obvious. Did I say Sandra Bland case? I meant Sandra Bland documentary. Say her name, Sandra Bland. It was on HBO. Even when all of the evidence is presented, it still doesn't necessarily mean that it works out, any justice was carried. This woman was killed. Nobody was ever charged for her murder. The man that they originally charged with perjury. This is the man that arrested her originally, pulled her out of her car, and they wrestled and all of that. They ended up charging him with perjury. The family ended up going into mediation with the police department, and they settled on like a $1.9 million judgment, which is okay, fine. The family was able to get money from them, but there was a stipulation in this settlement that that police department would provide de-escalation training for the police officers, and that they all would have to go to it, the whole entire staff. And like I said, this guy was charged with perjury for lying about why he arrested her in the first place, even though she dead, right? Okay. After they paid him the $1.9 million, not only did they not send any of their staff to this de-escalation training, but they dropped the charges of perjury on this man. Now, we couldn't even let the motherfucker get perjury. Okay, they dropped the charges on him, and it was just sort of like, this woman is dead. We're gonna give y'all this 1.9 million, but there's still no answer, still no justice, still no, she's dead. She's hung in her cell by a trash bag that has no DNA, doesn't have her DNA on it, doesn't have. Okay, I'm getting off track. We're supposed to be talking about Amber Guyger. Amber Guyger has been charged with murder, and they're going to be going through the whole process of trying her, and we'll see if she comes out innocent or guilty. Right now, I'm not feeling too hopeful, but Lord, please. There was a private screening of the R. Kelly movie. It's a documentary that's going to be on Lifetime, a 6-part documentary about, the very involved life of R. Kelly. And it's also going to shed light on the victims of his alleged sexual abuse, kidnapping. Well, not really kidnapping, because these are all grown people that are there on their own accord, but brainwashing and all of that. So the documentary is going to be on Lifetime, and they were having a private screening at the New House Madison Square in New York. They said that once they got everybody in there and seated and they were showing the documentary, there were some calls that were made anonymously that said that if they continued showing the footage, the documentary, that there was going to be somebody in there shooting. And even though they didn't feel like it was really much of a credible call, just to be safe and just to make sure that there was no problems, they decided to cut the documentary screening and to evacuate the building. Just better safe than sorry. So they're saying that the person that called had a Chicago accent. Okay, I know what a Chicago accent sounds like, but the fact that they're saying that this person had a Chicago accent, they're trying to link it to R. Kelly. As a matter of fact, Drea Kelly, who is his ex-wife, who's also in the documentary, who is one of the 7 women that are speaking out against R. Kelly in the documentary. She said that, listen, she doesn't believe in happenstance, that even though she can't 100% say that R. Kelly was the one that ordered this, this threat of a shooting or bomb threat or whatever, that she believes that he's involved in some sort of way. It could be somebody from his team, somebody that he knew. She feels like he definitely had something to do with it. She's saying that she is not going to go anywhere. This is not going to silence her. This documentary is still going to go on. These women are still going to be speaking out about him, about what he's done to them, what he's done to her, their lives. There were a lot of people from the Me Too movement there. They have that hashtag Silence R. Kelly going around. So there were a lot of people that support that movement there. And they ain't going to leave your boy R. Kelly alone. And he continues to thrive, and he continues to do whatever he does, and he still has women living with him. So I don't really know how any of this stuff is going to stop R. Kelly, because we all know about R. Kelly and the things that he does. I guess it's time to start hearing the other side of the story. So Lifetime will still be showing this 6-part documentary called Surviving R. Kelly. Okay, will you be watching? There's been all this talk about Kevin Hart and the fact that he's hosting the Oscars. Good for the little nigga. That's all I got for him, y'all. Nothing else. And lastly, you guys, we ain't gonna give the bitch a fist pump of righteousness. Well, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. My pettiness will not allow me to, but they say that Sheree Whitfield received an honorary degree of human letters from Trinity International University of Ambassadors in Flowery Branch, Georgia the other day. I guess we can now call her Dr. Whitfield. She has a degree in carrying the bone. She said that she was feeling so blessed and highly favored. I met so many wonderful people who are doing outstanding things. Congratulations, and keep up the great work to them. So yeah, we ain't got it for, I ain't got it for Sheree today, but you know what? If they felt, what was the name of the school again, you guys? If Trinity International University of Ambassadors in Flowery Branch, Georgia felt that she was the person to get that degree, who am I? Who are I to judge? Again, that's the best I can do for these folks today. All right, Dr. Whitfield, we see you. All right, rock stars, that's it. I really like my little watch, you guys. Can't wait to wear it with my sweats and shit. Let me get off of here, you guys. We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.